Problem 21A at the end of Chapter 5 discusses the information that we would need to consider when making a special sales order decision. Once again, remember the illustrations that we will look at are decisions that we would make in the short term. How would the things that we are considering or looking at impact our business in the short term? Or in this particular situation, it's a one-time event, supposedly. So we have Deep Blue manufacturing flotation devices, and they've provided their contribution margin for us for the end of the year. And we can see that they've sold 30,000 units this year. We have their revenue, their variable cost, their fixed cost, and their total operating income. Okay, so once again, we're using the contribution margin approach in each of these situations because once again, we're looking at primarily contribution margin because fixed costs typically do not change in the short term unless we're told differently. We will assume they will not change. So Overboard Company has come along to Deep Blue and said, I would like to buy 4,700 vests from you. And we're not, so as a result, if we take on the special order, we will not incur any additional selling and administrative expenses. And we have enough unused capacity. We have enough machine time and labor hours to actually manufacture these. Our concern is if I'm close to capacity and I accept this very large special order, if one of my existing customers comes along, then I don't have enough capacity to take care of my existing customers. This is a one-time special order, so we have to take that into consideration. They've offered to pay $7 per vest, but the normal sales price per vest is $16. If we didn't have that information, how could we figure it out? Sales of 480,000 divided by 30,000 units. Okay, so it seems a little obscure right now. Why would we accept a sale or an offer for $7 a vest when we typically sell them for $16? Well, in order to make a completely thorough analysis of this, we need to identify, as your book says, the relevant and irrelevant cost. What costs are relevant to this particular decision? Not long-term, just this decision. So if we walk down our cost, the variable cost, manufacturing of 150,000, selling and administrative. So remember what the contribution margin approach is doing is breaking my manufacturing down into variable cost and fixed cost. Also, the selling and administrative that are typically on my income statement, I'm showing these as variable and as fixed. They've been broken down. And your book tells us that the selling and administrative costs are not going to increase. We don't have any commissions to pay on this order. I don't have any additional processing fees that are going to have to take place. So basically, the only cost that is relevant to this particular decision is the variable manufacturing cost. And what are those? The material that we need for the life vest, the labor that we need to assemble those life vests, and any variable overhead cost. So remember, these variable costs stay the same per unit, but they increase the more or less we produce. So if I produce 4,700 vests, I'm going to have additional variable manufacturing costs. It's our material, labor, and overhead. The selling administrative, it tells us will not change, and it tells us that the fixed costs are irrelevant because they will not change. We will not incur any additional fixed manufacturing. We won't have to buy any new equipment. I won't have to pay another salaried salesperson. Okay, the only thing that's relevant to this decision is the cost to manufacture those 4,700 vests, my variable cost. So if they've offered me $7 per vest, as they said here, they've offered to pay us $7 per vest. $7 times 4,700 vests means that I would generate additional revenue of $32,900. So this is incremental revenue. What are my incremental costs? Well, our text says it cost us $5 per vest to manufacture these vests, and this is our variable manufacturing overhead. How did we come up with that number? Well, our variable manufacturing overhead was $150,000 for 30,000 vests. So 150 divided by 30 means that it cost me in variable manufacturing cost $5 per vest to make those. So $5 per vest times the 4,700 that I will sell means that I have incremental cost in this special order decision of 23,500. So the incremental revenue exceeds the incremental cost. I do have an expected increase in operating income of $9,400 if I take on the special order. And so if we're simply basing on the contribution margin approach, then we should accept the special order. Okay, because we're going to generate an additional $9,400 in income. So I let my excess capacity sit idle, or I take on what should be a one-time special order decision. So this is not a customer that should be coming back over and over again. This is someone who's come to me once and they want to buy a large bulk for some special circumstance or situation, and they're willing to only pay X amount per vest. Okay, but in this case, okay, we're not going to sell to them forever at this price. This is just a one-time special order decision. Okay, but requirement 3 says, here's your quantitative factors, but what about the other long term? What about the qualitative factors? What other things do we need to consider? Well, first of all, will this affect our regular sales in the long run? What happens if my existing customers find out that I have sold vests to them for $16 and now I've turned around and sold the same vest to someone else for $7, less than half the price I'm charging them? All right, so can I simply say to my existing customers, well, if you buy that many, I will sell to you at that price as well? Or this is a one-time special deal, some other arrangements, or it was for a not-for-profit organization that had some special issues or needs. I mean, is there some reason that if our existing customers found out that we were offering this product to this customer for this price, that our customers would continue to come back? Well, remember, if we are a price taker in the market and we're lucky to have the customers that we do have because there's lots of competitions, this could be a problem. If I'm a price setter in the market and I just have so much control over this market and this product that I can do that, would I? And then consider, is the special order customer likely to come back again and say, well, you did this for me once before, would you do it again? Then it's no longer a special order decision. Okay, will the special order price start a price war, possibly, with my competitors? What if the special order customer goes out and tells someone, well, hey, I can buy it from Deep Blue for $7, and we start a bidding war in the industry. So we have to be very careful and consider all of the long-term factors that are and the qualitative factors that are associated with this problem. But you can see that the contribution margin approach and our differential analysis gives us the quantitative information that we need to start our analysis, our dialogue, and our discussion.